Well, hello, welcome back to my kitchen. So tonight's dinner, I don't have a name for it while I'm speaking to you guys. By the time it goes up on the net, hopefully I have a name for it, or I make one up, I don't know. I saw this recipe on Google while I was sitting with Aiden in the hospital one day, and I thought, oh wow, that sounds really good. I think my family might like that. But I saved it up here. I do it all the time. I didn't write it down. I just kind of, that's easy enough. I can remember that. But I don't remember there being a name. In my opinion, it kind of leans towards a Mexican flavored dish. So it's an ode to dish. I don't think it's a Mexican dish, but it's got like enchilada sauce and things like that. And to me, that's what I think. When I think Mexican dishes, I think things like that. So instead of me standing here talking about it, let's just get right to it. So let's get it, let's go. Let's see if those pots, come on. Okay, so I figured out the name. Thank you, AI. It's just another bubble up dish. I should have known with the biscuits and everything. I just didn't think. So I'm going to talk about the biscuits and stuff in a moment. What you're going to need for the dish is you're going to need some shredded chicken. I bought this chicken for another dish yesterday, so I saved this portion of the chicken for today. You're going to need some kind of cheese, whatever kind you have, works. And you're going to need some enchilada sauce and some type of roll. The difference between making this with biscuits, crescent roll, or pizza dough. The biscuits are denser, like a biscuit, obviously. They're like bready, and they're taller and pronounced and hold their shape. The crescent roll would be flakier and could fall apart. Or not, not fall apart, but, come apart, like crescent rolls do. And they'll have a mid-rise. They won't have a tall rise, but they'll have a mid-rise. For the pizza dough, it'd be more like a Mexican pizza than it would be a bubble up. So you would want to pre-cook the dough if you want to just make a base, or you're going to have to cook it for longer. I have two things out there. Eric has his own special budget for things that he can't have that we are having. So, because a lot of times I have to make his differently than ours. So I'm going to use the crescent roll for him and the BioLife dairy-free cheese. I'll let you know. I'll taste the crescent roll and everything like that. So I'll let you know like what the difference is between the two. And we'll go from there. All right. So first thing we're going to do is start shredding up that chicken. All right. So it probably would have made a bit more sense for me to shred this up before I stuck it in the refrigerator. I don't know what I was thinking. But basically, I got some gloves on. I'm going to pull this all apart. Add a bunch of little pieces. You can use canned chicken. You can use the leg of a chicken, the breast of a chicken, whatever meat or cut you prefer. So this is pretty simple. And this is one of my easy peasy ones that I come up with. That looks like fat. Put that over there. All right. So just going to shred it up. Alrighty, down the home stretch here. Let me get the gloves off and get this chicken into a bowl. All right, I'm going to start with the dairy-free and the crescent roll. Sorry, that was so loud. I'm going to use half of the can. Now, what I'm going to do instead of just like ripping it up in there, I'm going to make it into 4 equal pieces, the half, as if I had the biscuits. So what you do with these, see I'm mushing them together so that they don't fall apart. I think that'll help a little bit. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. And then we're going to cut this up into 4 pieces. So, like that. And we're going to throw that into the shredded chicken I have over there for Eric. And now that I got that done, we'll go to the next step. All right. We're going to take these biscuits. This is the Diry version. I threw the couple extra pieces of crescent roll in ours, so it doesn't overwhelm Eric's dish. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your rolls, separate them. I think that's more just so they don't stick together. And we're going to cut these down into 4 pieces. So just like that. Oop, there. And we're going to throw that into the mix. Boom. Here we go. We're going to take all of these biscuits and we're going to throw them in with our chicken. This is a super easy dish. Okay. I'm going to start with ours since I have butter on my fingers and I could just easily do ours and then Eric's. So that's what that looks like. I'm going to use my hands to gently mix this through before I add the enchilada sauce. That's why I didn't want to take off my gloves just yet. I wish I had a bigger bowl, but I don't. What's that? Oh, I thought it was a bone. Actually, I do have a bigger bowl. Let me get a bigger bowl. I did have a bigger bowl. I keep this one just put away for like candy at a Halloween or something like that. So I'm just going to dump that right in there. And we're just going to give it a gentle mix all the way through. It says fold, but mix, fold, same thing to me. All right, so what you do with this is you add the enchilada sauce. Just try to break it up a little bit. It kind of clumped together. There we go. You're going to take the entire can of enchilada sauce, as hot as you would like it. I have mild, because we all know I'm a sissy. All right, got all that in there. Let's give that a nice mix. Actually, I can still use my hands. Hold on. Still got the gloves on. And that's about all the prep work you gotta do. All right, let me move on over to Eric's real quick and finish his up, and then we'll move on. Not so fast. I forgot the cheese. Now, the recipe calls for 2 cups of cheese, a cup in and a cup on top. I'm using Colby Jack and a little bit of this sharp cheddar that I have. So I have both in here. And we're going to give that a nice mix around. And then we'll move over to the non-dairy version. I'm like, something doesn't look right. Let me think. And there you go. I thought about it. All right. Now we'll move over to the non-dairy. All right. I spilled some on the counter over here. For the non-dairy, I'm using one of Eric's favorites, the Daya Italian blend. And another favorite is the Mexican style shreds. He likes the way the Daya melts better than the other. but we're going to mix that in here. Okay. All right, gonna get our casserole dishes out. You're going to spray them. Okay? All right, I set that down on a towel so you can see it. And we're just gonna dump this big old plop in here. Boop. Get out all the juice. All right, put the last little bit in there. Boom, boom. All right, I took my glove off. So we're just gonna move that around the pan. Just get it all in there. And then we're gonna take the last cup of cheese and we're gonna cover this with it. That should be good. I'm not trying to be perfect with it. I'm just trying to get it even. All right, let me get the cheese. And it says put a cup on top. So this time I'm gonna go in with a pinchy poo. A little bit of the cheddar on top. Little bit of cheddar. And then I'm gonna put some of the Colby Jack down. A fistful or two. That's exactly how the recipe is written. No seasoning, no nothing. So I'm gonna trust the process. All right, it does not say covered. It just says cook it in the oven. So that's what we're gonna do. Off to the oven, 25 to 30 minutes uncovered. All right, so I'm going to use some of the Diry Italian blend. Little bit. I don't want to put too much because it has a stronger taste. At least in my opinion. Okay, so that looks good. Oops. All right, so that's also going to go in uncovered. Maybe not as long as ours because there's less in the pan, but I'll keep an eye on it. Here we go. Woohoo! Oh, hold on. Ouch, just burnt myself. Look at that. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And they're done. They're done. Let me get Eric's out. Here we go. Here's Eric's. Now, it doesn't look as good as ours, and we know that we use the crescent rolls. He also has cheese that doesn't melt like ours did. So what you'll see, the little dip in there is because I went like that to get some of the grease off, and as I was pushing down with a little spoon, it took that little hill out of there. But it's still gonna taste good. And there's my plate. I'm gonna meet you at the table.
If you get any benefit at all from my content, you can help me out by clicking like, share, commenting, and definitely hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video.
Dinner time! All right, before we get into eating, booyah. That's because I beat him. I slammed him in the wall. No, I'm kidding. Roughhousing. Broke his finger. Just in case anybody was worrying. Or not worrying. Wondering. Can you get it? Do I gotta scoop it for you? Go over here where it's looser. I'm trying to pull some to the side so you can get it. Got it? I got it too. Are you ready?
Yep.
Now, I never had this before. I'm sure I've had all these flavors, but I've never had this. You ready? Let's go. That's really good. That's pretty good.
It's really good.
I like it a lot. It's cheesy, it's chicken. What's not to like? A biscuit in there. Oh, I did take a taste of Eric's as I was moving it over here because I have a biscuit and you have a crescent roll. Mm-hmm. His, after tasting this, because I only took a little nibble out of his, is a little bit sweeter. But other than that, it really isn't different. Like when I took it out of the oven, it was good and fluffy, but when you take it out of the oven, it sunk a little bit. So, but there you have it. Let me get everybody else fed and see what they think about it. Bye-bye. Dinner's over. How'd they do? Boom! Didn't finish. Now, Trey has not eaten yet, so I expect he'll eat at least that much of it. So there's still maybe a third of the pan left. Eric's is all gone. However, he did not eat it all himself. He had help with that. So let's see what the kids thought about the dinner. Aiden, what did you think about dinner?
I really like the biscuits and the chicken mixed together.
Awesome. That's a good thing. You liked it all mixed together. Eric, what did you think about dinner?
I really liked the biscuit thing that was in it. I liked how it was sweet, and I liked how the chicken tasted with it. It was a perfect match.
That's pretty cool. He always picks up on that crescent roll, that sweetness. I picked up on that too in there. And Tyler, what did you think?
That was great. I even ate Eric's and ours.
Yes, he did. He helped Eric and he helped ours. Otherwise, there'd be more gone out of ours had he ate just out of the one pan. Me, I really liked it. Know this, that it is filling because there's a lot of, the biscuit in there. So it's very, very filling. It had a lot of flavor from the enchilada. For me, I might have saved a little bit to go across the top because I like more saucy things, but that's not a taken away from the meal. That's just something I might do to make it a little bit better for my palate. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. So there you have it. I hope you try it. I hope you like it. Leave me a comment either way. See you later. Bye.